How many of your daily routines today are exactly the same as they were 15 years ago? The way you wake up, what you drink first, how you wind down at night, what you do after meals. For most people, honestly, not much has changed. And that's the quiet problem nobody talks about, because the body you are living in right now is not the same body you had at 45. The hormones are different, the metabolism is different, the way your kidneys filter, your heart pumps, your muscles recover, all of it has shifted, but the habits, they stayed exactly where they were. Today I'm going to walk you through 7 completely ordinary things that millions of people over 60 do every single day, things that feel normal, even responsible, that are silently working against their health. We are counting down from number 7 to number 1. And I promise you, by the time we reach number 1, at least one of these will make you stop and think, I do that? I had no idea. Stay with me through all 7. The one doing the most damage to your health right now might be the very last one you'd expect. My name is Dr. Emily Carter. I've worked in preventive medicine and healthy aging for over 18 years. This channel exists for one reason: to give you the practical, honest health information that doesn't always make it into a 15-minute doctor's appointment. Number 7, and this one is the most modern habit on this list. You open your eyes. Within 3 minutes, your hand reaches for your phone. News, messages, social media, email. It feels productive. It feels like staying connected. Here is what it's actually doing to your body. Every morning, your cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone, naturally peaks. Scientists call it the cortisol awakening response, and it serves a real purpose. It prepares your body to face the day. That morning spike is completely normal and healthy. But when you immediately flood your brain with notifications, breaking news, or stressful messages during that window, cortisol spikes even higher. And for anyone over 60 managing blood pressure, blood sugar, or heart health, that cortisol surge has measurable consequences. Elevated morning cortisol raises blood pressure readings. It triggers early blood sugar instability. It sets the nervous system into a reactive, alert state that can carry through the entire morning, affecting your focus, your mood, and even your appetite. Here's what to do instead. Keep your phone across the room, not next to the bed. Give yourself the first 20 minutes after waking before you check anything. Drink water. Sit quietly. Let your body's natural morning rhythm complete itself before the digital world steps in. 20 minutes of phone-free morning has been shown to lower morning blood pressure, reduce cortisol reactivity, and meaningfully improve mood stability throughout the day. That's a powerful return for a very small change. Number 6, and this one quietly affects millions of older adults who believe they are being careful. After 60, many people spend the majority of their day indoors. It feels safer. It protects you from falls, from extreme weather, from exertion, and in some ways that caution makes sense. But the consequence is a dramatic reduction in natural vitamin D production, and this matters far more than most people realize. Your skin produces vitamin D when exposed to direct sunlight. After 60, that production process becomes significantly less efficient. Your skin needs more sun exposure to generate the same amount it once made easily. And because most older adults spend so little time outdoors, vitamin D deficiency is now one of the most common and most underdiagnosed conditions in people over 60. What does low vitamin D actually do? It weakens bone density, increasing fracture risk from falls that wouldn't have mattered at 40. It reduces muscle strength, the very strength you need for balance and stability. It suppresses immune function, making recovery from illness slower. And research increasingly links chronic vitamin D deficiency to elevated rates of depression and cognitive decline in older adults. 15 to 20 minutes of direct sunlight on your arms and face, either in the early morning or late afternoon to avoid peak heat, gives your body what it needs. No sunscreen during that window, on those areas only. If outdoor access is limited, ask your doctor to check your vitamin D level at your next appointment. Supplementation is straightforward, and the results, more energy, better mood, stronger muscles, are often felt within a few weeks. Number 5, and this one surprises people every time because it feels like something so basic it couldn't possibly be their problem. Here is the biology that changes everything. The sensation of thirst, that reliable signal your body has sent you your entire life, weakens significantly after 60. The mechanisms your body uses to detect fluid loss become less sensitive. What this means in practical terms is that by the time you feel thirsty at 65 or 70, your body is often already meaningfully dehydrated. You are not failing to listen to your body. Your body is sending a quieter signal than it used to. And the consequences of chronic mild dehydration in older adults go far beyond a dry mouth. Blood pressure readings become unreliable. Dehydration can artificially elevate readings by 10 to 15 points. Kidney stones become dramatically more likely when urine is consistently concentrated. Constipation that resists every dietary change often resolves with hydration alone. Joint stiffness worsens. Cartilage is primarily water, and it needs fluid to cushion and protect the joint surfaces. Mental clarity suffers. And the dizziness that many older adults experience when standing, a leading cause of dangerous falls, is frequently driven by dehydration. Tea, coffee, and sodas do not substitute for water. They are mild diuretics. They pull fluid from the body rather than replenishing it. Here's what to do. Do not rely on thirst as your guide. Instead, build hydration into your routine. A large glass of water first thing in the morning, before anything else. 1 glass per hour through the day. Stop 2 hours before bed to protect sleep. A simple filled bottle on your kitchen counter as a visual reminder. The target for most adults over 60 is 6 to 8 glasses, roughly 1.5 to 2 liters per day. Most people are falling well short of that without realizing it. Number 4, and I want you to sit with this one for a moment because most people don't think of it as a health habit at all. Social isolation after 60 is a medical issue, not a preference, not a personality trait. A measurable, documented health risk? Harvard University conducted an 80-year longitudinal study, one of the longest ever run, tracking what actually determines health and longevity in aging adults. The single strongest predictor of long-term health, above diet, above exercise, above genetics, was the quality of a person's social connections. People who remained socially connected had lower blood pressure, less chronic pain, faster recovery from illness, sharper cognitive function as they aged. And they lived longer. The flip side, chronic loneliness has been shown to carry the same health risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That is not a metaphor. That is a measured biological finding. After 60, isolation creeps in quietly. Retirement removes daily structure and coworker contact. Children build their own lives. Friends and family members pass away. Mobility becomes more limited. Getting out feels like more effort than it's worth. But the body experiences loneliness as a chronic stressor. Cortisol stays elevated. Inflammation increases. Immune function declines. The cardiovascular system bears the burden. You do not need a packed social calendar. Research suggests that 3 to 4 genuine, meaningful social interactions per week, a real conversation, not a text exchange, produce measurable biological benefit. A walk with a neighbor, a phone call to a sibling, attending a community event, joining a class, a group, a regular gathering of any kind. These are not optional enrichment activities. For your body, they are medicine. Number 3, and this one sits at the intersection of blood sugar, digestion, and sleep. 3 things that are already more delicate after 60. The pattern is common. Dinner at 8 or 9 in the evening, television for a while, then bed. It's a routine that worked fine for years. After 60, it creates 3 separate problems happening simultaneously. First, blood sugar. The body's sensitivity to insulin, its ability to efficiently process carbohydrates, is lower at night than at any other time of day. Eating a full meal late in the evening produces a steeper, longer blood sugar spike than the exact same meal eaten at noon. For anyone managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, late dinners are a significant and often overlooked contributor to difficult-to-control readings. Second, acid reflux and esophageal damage. The valve between the esophagus and stomach weakens with age. When you lie down shortly after eating, stomach acid travels upward. Over months and years, this silent acid exposure damages the lining of the esophagus, even without dramatic heartburn symptoms every night. Third, active digestion competes with your body's ability to enter deep restorative sleep stages. People who eat late consistently report sleeping longer but waking less rested, because the hours of deep sleep the body needs for tissue repair and memory consolidation are being disrupted by digestive activity. Finish dinner at least 2 hours before bed. If a late meal is unavoidable, keep it small and light. A 10-minute gentle walk after eating, even just around your home, significantly improves the blood sugar response and aids digestion without requiring any special equipment. 1 shift in your evening routine. 4 measurable improvements in your health. Number 2, and I want to be very clear about what I'm saying here. This is not about whether you take your medications. I am assuming that you do. This is about what happens between the prescription and your next appointment. Most adults over 60 are managing at least 2 or 3 regular medications. Many are managing 5 or more, and the vast majority take those medications on the same schedule at the same dose, month after month, without systematically tracking how they are actually feeling. They wait until the next appointment, sometimes 3 or 6 months away, and then try to remember how they've been feeling. And based on that recall, their doctor makes prescribing decisions. That system has a serious gap. Medications for blood pressure, blood sugar, thyroid function, and heart rhythm all require regular calibration. A dose that was appropriate a year ago may now be too high because you've lost weight, too low because a dietary change shifted your absorption, or interacting differently because another medication was added. Fatigue, dizziness, brain fog, swelling in the legs, mood changes, sleep disruption, these are frequently medication side effects. But patients rarely connect the symptom to the medication because they're not tracking, and by the time they mention it to a doctor, they can't clearly describe when it started or how frequent it's been. Keep a simple daily health log. 1 line per day is enough. Write down today's blood pressure reading, if you have a cuff at home, your energy level on a scale of 1 to 10, and any unusual symptom, however minor it seems. 2 weeks of that log brought to your next appointment gives your doctor more actionable information than any single office visit could generate. You become an active participant in your own care rather than a passive recipient of it. Your lived experience between appointments is irreplaceable data. Start recording it. And now number 1. This one is not about a food, a supplement, or a schedule. It's about a pattern of thinking, one that I have watched over 18 years of clinical practice, quietly cost people their health and sometimes their lives. It is the habit of explaining away your symptoms. You climb a flight of stairs and feel unusually short of breath. I'm just out of shape. There's a dull ache in your jaw after a heavy meal. Probably tension. I've been stressed. Your ankles are noticeably swollen by evening. I've been on my feet too much. An unexplained fatigue has been sitting on you for 3 weeks. This is just what getting older feels like. A word slips away from you, and then another. I didn't sleep well. These explanations feel reasonable. They feel like the responsible, grounded response of someone who doesn't overreact, but they are dangerous. After 60, the body communicates differently. The dramatic, obvious warning signs that we associate with serious illness, crushing chest pain, sudden collapse, unmistakable symptoms are not how most serious conditions present in older adults. Heart attacks in older adults, particularly in women, frequently arrive as unusual fatigue, jaw discomfort, nausea, or simply a persistent feeling that something is not right. Early kidney disease has no symptoms whatsoever until a majority of function is already gone. Vascular damage from blood pressure happens silently for years. The most serious age-related threats are often the quietest, until suddenly they are not. There is also a cultural pressure that runs deep in many older adults. Don't make a fuss. Don't burden the family. Wait and see. Be strong. That pressure is understandable. It is also quietly lethal. Keep a small notebook on your nightstand. When something feels off, write it down. The date, what you noticed, how long it lasted. If that same entry appears more than twice in 2 weeks, take the notebook to your next appointment. Show your doctor. That is not overreacting. That is wisdom built from decades of knowing your own body. Those signals are asking to be heard. The earlier a pattern reaches a physician, the more options exist. The more time there is to intervene, adjust, and protect what matters. You don't lose anything by checking. You can lose everything by waiting. Your body has been communicating with you for over 60 years. It deserves to be listened to now more than ever. So there they are, 7 ordinary invisible habits quietly affecting the health of millions of people over 60, most of whom have no idea any of this is happening. Morning phone use that spikes your stress hormones. Staying indoors and losing the vitamin D your bones and muscles depend on. Underestimating dehydration when your thirst signal has gone quiet. The slow health cost of isolation and loneliness. Late dinners disrupting blood sugar and sleep. Medications taken without the tracking that makes them work properly. And above all, explaining away the signals your body is working hard to send you. None of these require a dramatic life overhaul. Start with one. Just one. Put a glass of water on your nightstand for tomorrow morning. Step outside for 15 minutes tomorrow afternoon. Call someone this week who you haven't spoken to in a while. Open a notebook and write down one thing about how you're feeling today. Small habits, held consistently, change more than most people expect. If this video helped you see something you hadn't noticed before, please share it. With a spouse, a sibling, a parent, a friend over 60 who you care about. Because this information doesn't always make it into a short clinic visit, but it matters, and the people you love deserve to have it. Asterisk, asterisk, subscribe, asterisk, asterisk. If you want more honest, practical guidance on healthy aging, delivered clearly without the medical jargon. And leave a comment below telling me, asterisk, asterisk, which habit are you starting with? I read every single one. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself.